Well, if last summer in Oregon was any indication, our country has a serious wildfire problem. Experts warn that recent years are not just an anomaly, but rather the beginning of what could be our future without a different approach. Jim Pauley is the president and CEO of the National Fire Protection Association, and he joins us this morning to talk about some of the new ways that experts are trying to outthink wildfire. Jim, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for being here. It seems that wildfires are just getting worse and worse. We certainly saw that with some of the devastating fires here in Oregon last year. I mean, how do we reverse this trend?
So, to give an example to set the stage, we have 70,000 communities and 45 million homes across the U.S. that are in the wildland urban interface. We spend about $2 to $3 billion annually to put the wildfires out. Our problem with wildfires is we've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years. As we've moved farther into the urban interface, though, the problem gets worse and worse. So we need a new approach, and Outthink Wildfire is about the key elements for that new approach.
Okay, so Outthink Wildfire, this is your new strategy here. Kind of explain what you're thinking, the strategy behind it.
Yeah, so first you have to realize that there are two realities around Outthink Wildfire. The first is understanding that wildfires themselves are going to happen. Question is, how do we reduce the devastating and destructive impact of those? Secondly, is an understanding that the fire service is not going to be able to extinguish fires at a pace or rate to save people and property in the path of a wildfire. So in Outthink Wildfire, we centered this around 5 tenets about how do we build, where do we build, what does land use and vegetative fuel management look like, and how do we bring together policymakers, fire service, and the public to really create a comprehensive approach and take comprehensive action.
So what does that comprehensive approach look like then for the public? Because it sounds like we no longer can have a fire and look at containment lines and just hope that firefighters are going to be able to save people's homes or to save a community.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, people choose to live in wildland areas because it's beautiful and it's away from everything. But given that, you can't expect the fire service is going to be able to come and save you. So the actions that we need is whether we're talking about existing homes, how do we retrofit those in ways that can make them more resistant to embers and to flames? In new home construction or business construction, how do we use materials that are more resistant for wildfire? And across the entire community, how do we build in defensible space through the way that we use the land and the way that we place homes and businesses on the land to most effectively be able to protect against the devastating effects of a wildfire? And Outthink Wildfire outlines elements in each of those areas.
We've seen a lot of talk here in the months following some of the really devastating fires that we saw in Oregon in 2020. A lot of talk at the state level, lawmakers looking at ways to, try and prevent this from happening in the future. Is this something that needs to happen at the legislative level?
It is. And actually, I believe Oregon's leading the way in thinking about some of the needed legislative efforts differently. The important thing we're encouraging is to be sure to involve the public, the fire service in those discussions, because that's where the most comprehensive approach to policy is going to come from. But I do really appreciate the way that Oregon is thinking about this today. And I think some of the material that we have can help expand and enhance that thinking as well.
All right, Jim Pauley with the National Fire Protection Association outlining the new Outthink Wildfire strategy. Jim, thanks for your time this morning.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more about wildfire prevention efforts and to see what recovery is still happening from Oregon's devastating fires, you can find that all on KOIN.com.